Oh no, Gothics, I think you're muted. You got to unmute.
No! Oh, it's disaster, right? We have to have technical difficulty already, Ethan. Hello, everyone. Welcome back for this wonderful stream, this charity stream event for ABK, a great cause. If you want to learn more about our cause here, put in the chat exclamation ABK to get all the information about what we're raising money for. If you want to make a donation to this wonderful event and this cause, put exclamation donation in the Twitch chat and you'll receive a link to go and make a donation. All donations are non-refundable. Lots more information. There is two more if you want to keep up with the other main Twitch stream server that is hosting one of the other leagues in the winners division and the winners bracket. Go ahead and put exclamation ABK Discord to join a Discord server for this charity event, and then you can check out the other stream link right there. And finally, talking about brackets, if you want to see where all the other teams lay, which teams have been defeated and gone, and which teams are still in it, make sure you do exclamation bracket, and you will get a link to check out the bracket for the rest of the tournament. My name is Guthix, and I am joined by my fellow co-caster, my fellow friend, Ethan. Ethan, thanks for clarifying and making sure I wasn't muted the entire stream. I do appreciate that.
I mean, the only reason that I knew to call it out was because I have definitely not done the same thing before on more than one occasion. It's my pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to be casting here on Star Esports. Phenomenal to get connected to you guys, and then on top of that, be here for a pretty noble cause as well. Like Guthix mentioned, be sure to use those commands so you guys can be knowledgeable about what exactly we're looking to raise money and awareness for. It's just an increase to industry standards. It's simple. It's a small thing to ask for, I feel like, but here we are, Community for a Better ABK. Not affiliated with the ABK Workers Alliance, but definitely standing in solidarity with them. In terms of standing with solidarity, you guys can again use the exclamation point donate command to help contribute towards those funds. Guthix, remind me of the total that we're actually at right now. I think it was
800 and oh shoot, I thought I had it written down somewhere. It was $833. I think it's something around there.
That's
$800
awesome.
plus dollars. That is still awesome.
Yeah.
And actually, Ethan, we do have some great shout outs to give. I think you would like to share those for us here, our viewers. Let me take a breather after all those commands I gave.
Yes, 2 tons of salt. You guys can donate, by the way, and you guys can drop a message with the donation. Send a picture of your receipt to the staff at Community for Better ABK and get these donations read aloud. At least starting here on the broadcast tonight, we got 2 tons of salt with $50 donation. Good job, Luna and team. Phenomenal job running this whole operation. It's amazing how quickly this endeavor sprung up and how effective it's been. Rose Thorn actually dropping 2 donations. One for $20. One for $10. $20 donation reads ... and the $10 let's support the people who made such a great game. Yeah, absolutely. Although at times we might not feel like it's a great game. You got Zathon dropping $5. Not supporting worker unions is kind of cringe, not gonna lie, and it is just a little bit, especially when those worker unions are here for are because of ABK and how low the standards have fallen. You've got Cosmic dropping $5. Thanks for a great tourney. Thank you guys to all of our viewers and participants. You guys. We owe you guys a lot. Koathar with $10. I got 2 squish kills with the Diva remake. We love to see it. GG's everyone. Thanks for coming together as a community and raising money for the cause. Yeah, GG's everyone. Very, very well played. Great games that we've seen this weekend so far. JRepa, hashtag boot Bobby. I don't know who Bobby is, but hey, dropping $10, we might just have to do so for JRepa. Anonymously, someone has contributed $19. Says Kaiju Core stands in solidarity with with ABK, the Workers for ABK Alliance there. So that's really all the shout outs that we got here for you so far. Phenomenal stuff from our players, viewers, donators, and everyone who's come together to make this weekend a really fun one. But we don't want to harp on that too long. We're here to watch some Overwatch as well. And Guthix, we got a great matchup for tonight as well.
Yes, absolutely. We have a great matchup for you tonight. We are going to be covering the losers bracket. It's going to be number 6, Termina, versus number 7, Euphonic. And actually, if you tuned in yesterday, Ethan, you were casting on the main channel, but here we saw both of these two teams in yesterday's matches. So these names are familiar, at least to me. And it's familiar if you were yesterday, and I already know that this one's going to be a close battle, close fight, knockout punch. I think it's going to go the distance in this first of 2 series, and it's definitely going to go all the way to map 3, Ethan. We're going to be starting here first on Watchpoint Gibraltar, Escort map. One of my favorite maps, Ethan, especially for Escort.
Interesting that you say so. There's quite a few people who would feel a little bit differently, but yes, Gibraltar. It's one of those classic Overwatch maps as well. It's a really good one for compositions that look like they were manufactured back in 2016 when the game first shipped. I'm really excited to see the Euphonic squad. This will actually be their debut for me. I haven't gotten to see them in action quite like I got to watch Termina yesterday. So not to mention. Greg helped to end my losing streak in Overwatch competitive today. So very excited to see Greg in action, hoping that they carry as hard as they did me in my competitive game earlier this afternoon. We're jumping right into the action here on Watchpoint Gibraltar. We'll get to see what kinds of compositions are opted for here by both teams, but I feel like it's going to be pretty dive heavy.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And then speaking about dive heavy, that's really what this map is all about. You play the Winston, you play the D.Va, and sometimes you're coming into this map, and even the double bubble with the Zarya is nice. You have a nice Zarya protected supports, and then you have the Winston just diving up, applying a lot of pressure with a Tracer, Genji, maybe even an Echo, and we're going to actually just get the team switched. It looks like Euphonic wanted to switch sides. They wanted to be on the defense first. So Euphonic is going to be on the blue, and it's going to be Termina on the red instead. We'll get that switch over for you, and then jump into the action. And now we're going to be able to take a look here, Ethan, with these hero compositions. I think it's going to be the dive. Definitely been seeing a lot of Winston and D.Va in this tournament. Maybe even a Hammond, but not too much double shield or Reinhardt play.
Probably not, at least to start off the bat here. I anticipate some pretty heavy engagement style compositions emerging from both these teams. That's really exactly what we're going to get here. You do have the double shield composition being run by Termina. They're going to put Hovsep on the Winston, which is a fantastic call in my opinion from what we got to see from yesterday. Vins is going to be backing them up with the Zarya, so that's going to be a pair to look out for. Lots of lethality between those two heroes and those two players. Meanwhile, it is going to be a defensive dive style composition. You do have Thrift with Greg on the Mercy Ashe combo. So not only will Greg on the Ashe be helpful in putting a little bit of distance between themselves and their team and Hovsep, but also the damage is going to be absolutely immense, as well as the dynamites. If they're well placed, that's some pretty quick bobs.
Yeah, they're going to use the Sim TP and move Danger Noodle. She's going to go over to the right side with the Zarya protecting them. I'm going to be on the play-by-play tonight, and Ethan's going to be coloring up Philly in the black and white with some nice rainbow colors. Fork gets the opening kill onto Greg. They are resurrected back here first, so it's a 6v16 fight to start it off. Cart's moving and groovy underneath the bridge. Hovsep just applying some pressure, move that cart. Now jumping up, gets the ally bubble. Noob takes out Visiation. That's a big, nice elimination, but then Noob is straight back to the spawn, while Fork gets the dynamite elimination. Mimi resurrecting Visiation back. Now it's a 5v6. They're trying to push this farther. Underneath the choke is Visiation. Visiation just pressuring this, and Fork has been the dominant DPS so far, Ethan, finding those opening kills.
Keep a keen eye out, though, on Mazamel coming up on the nano boost here shortly. They'll be able to tether it to Noob if they'd like to generate ultimate charge towards another pulse bomb, but you have to see a connection of the objective from the defending Euphonic.
Well, here's the Nano Monkey in the tiny room. Mouser gets
Nice,
the
Mouser.
triple kill. Sneaks in the jump pack elimination, finds a hat trick, and that was a quick win with just one ultimate use there.
Yeah, and you didn't have to, like you mentioned, you didn't have to use the pulse bomb. That's absolutely spectacular. It means that Noob can look for a stick onto Mimi, perhaps right before the Valkyrie or Danger, to prevent the nano boost on the side of Terminate from generating quite as quickly. You do have Hovsep and Mouser pretty equal in terms of ultimate percentage towards that primal, and a nice stick from Noob is going to eliminate Forks from the fight and proc the revive from Mimi. That's 30 seconds. That if there's a man disadvantage, you really can't equalize that there.
No, so now the Bob is going to be used by Forg to try zone people out, but it's a quick sleep onto Bob, taking that in the middle. Offset jumping in with the Primal Rage, looking for Maze Smell in an awkward position. Now has the tank to support. Valkyrie from Thrift as well, just keeping Maze Smell alive. They don't want them to go away. Fork finds the elimination onto Noob. Again, Fork just finding these opening kills have been a real difference maker. Gets the second kill on Greg, and the card's just gonna roll right in. Mayswell finds another. They get the kills, but it doesn't really matter here, Ethan. They cross point A, they get the extra time, and they get a closer respawn.
Keen-eyed viewers and players would look at that and say C9 Omega lol, but it wasn't quite a C9. There were just no defenders on the objective while the team fight was was happening there in the server room. It means that there's a nice time bank to attack the street space here for Terminate, and they've got some ultimates to work with as well. Expect to see the High Noon and the Graviton Surge combined. Probably once you do dislodge the defending Euphonic off of this shuttle area.
Noob gets the opening elimination on Tixavi. That's gonna probably do it. Jules gonna regroup here.
Yeah.
This is such a hard position to really attack into, especially with this dive composition and Greg on the Ash. They're gonna have so much mobility with that coach gun and just moving around up onto the high ground.
Yeah, this is a fantastic point for Alchemisto on the Diva to just constantly dance around the high ground. Mouser as well. The problem is that Hovsep can get up to that shuttle, right? They can get onto that high ground, but the problem is that after they get up there, they're on their own. They get a bubble from Vinzation, and then after that fight is done. There's the Deadeye. Ooh, getting Greg out of the fight.
Yeah, that was a big quick kill. Fork gets taken out by themselves, I guess. Offset with the nano boost builds up a Primal Rage, a Diva Bomb in dangerous position up on the high ground, forces some drops. It's going to be a solo grab onto Noob, but instead gets taken out by Danger Noob before falling. Honors are traded. Honors, though, coming up from Mizmel, walking back, and Bob does something. Greg picks up the elimination. And again, it's just so awkward to push into this. They're in such great position, and they're so mobile that they can rotate, they can get out, and they get the support they need. As long as you keep Maysmell alive, and Thrift with the Mercy can easily just fly back and pocket them.
Yes, and it's a bit of a far reach compared to how Overwatch really used to be played, right? We used to forego Streets phase of these escort maps, and now this is where you want to wear down most of the time bank. That's exactly what's happened for the attackers here. Termina is working with only a minute and a half and a few resources in the bank in terms of ultimates to work with. Now, Forks, I'm hoping we don't see another objective Bob deployed here. I think that we need to see Bob deployed once the mid-fight actually breaks out, but opening up the fight, Bob will get a little bit of cart progress before the cart finally stops rolling because of the space between that ultimate and the objective.
But here we go, Bob's actually doing something in the front line. The nano boost coming out onto Mouser. He's doing damage in the back. Finds 2 kills, looking for more. Has a Primal Rage for insurance, but it's not going to need it. You a whole nano boost. That's the only ultimate you use, and great defense coming in from Euphonic.
It's crazy that the Nano Monkey is on its own a win condition here for Euphonic on the defense. You saw how costly the
Yeah.
fight before this last one was for them, making sure that they managed to stay stalwart on this defensive formation. And now they've got those ults all back, and it's big part because of Thrift and Mazemel's proactivity on the support lineup. Nice, beautiful sleep on a Hove Step as well.
What a great sleep, negating a lot of that Primal Rage and the Nano Boost is gone. Another sleep comes out! Looking for it, doesn't get too much value, but Tixati's switching over to the Reaper. Immediate value, taking out Noob. They're looking for more. Danger Noodle, she's gone. Mouser contributing once again with the Primal Rage, but it's too much. The Reaper is too much damage output. They're up one. Everyone's dangerously low. They have support still, but they're in an awkward position. Here's the D.Va Bomb.
You gotta dodge!
Point. Ah, they crossed the point once again. They did the same thing on point 8 there, Ethan. Just right there. They just stay on it. Sure, they lose this team fight, but they get the extra time for this push.
Which is really good because you know that you can stymie Euphonic on their attack phase if you are Terminate. These extra eliminations that you're picking up are really just it's insurance. It's a luxury being able to secure additional kind of semi-fight wins while also generating ultimates of your own as well. You're coming into this next fight with a Bob, a Pulse Bomb, and a Nano, which you might only need the Nano and apply that onto Mouser enough to disrupt the engagements from Hovsep, who's still working towards that Primal.
Oh, well, here's Bob in the corner. Bit of an awkward position. Bob has slept. Hopset finds Mouser, but Hopset falls, so both Reinhardt's gone. There's a Death Blossom in backline. Lava is eaten up by a defense matrix, but Thrift gets taken out, one of the victims. And Savi still on a rampage on the left. Just taking a nap here. Finally woke up, and here's Nano Monkey. They are on danger. Everyone around. D.Va Bomb for Viz just to remech. Gonna be overtime pushed here right about now, and there it is. Danger Noodle trying to regroup so she can give the extra healing. The D-mech onto Viz is big. Offset does have the Primal Rage. They are going to be looking at USAT just to stall this out longer, but they need picks. Thrift popping the Valkyrie and Bob coming in to give them a man-up advantage. D.Va Bomb used from Alchemito just for the remake. Mouser finds one on Tamimi. That's one.
That's an important
Looking
pick.
for more. That's a big pick. There's no rally for this team fight. Tixavi trying to clutch it up here, Bill Nard. Death Blossom finds two. Fork finds a third. They're getting up in the elimination. Tixavi dangerously low. Fork has to contribute, get another kill. Fork trying to pull it together, finds a third elimination. It's coming out on top, red. Now the rally is joined by Mimi, bringing everyone those extra shields. Mouser gets taken out. It's a long stall fest, but Viz gets the remake. That's going to be a lot of help from the D.Va mech. They finally won the team fight, but there's one more, and overtime is triggered. Tixavi has the Death Blossom. Fork has the Pulse Bomb, and Danger Noodle with that Nano Boost. That could be big. Danger Noodle, she gets the kill onto Noob. Fork trying to get something, and it's Offset picking up the eliminations. Tixavi just brings everyone so low. Hopsep 1, 2, 3. And they should be able to finish this map here, Ethan. Yes, they do, with Hopsep coming out, picking up 4 right there in the overtime push.
That's a really great confidence booster if you are Terminate. Being able to push through the stymie of that streets phase and not get stonewalled on third objective as well for that last push. You're able to get all the way to the end, albeit with no time remaining in the bank, right? Like you mentioned, it was an overtime push, but still, it's really great. You've put this map into winnable territory. Very, very winnable. All you have to do is bleed the time bank out from the impending attack from Euphonic. They're going to be swapping sides now, and Euphonic will have the opportunity to commit to some really strong engagements, I'm sure, is what we're going to see from them, because they're not changing their style. It's going to be that dive composition. In fact, their whole lineup is the exact same. It's going to look very similar from the side of Termina as well. I'm sure we'll see Danger Noodle on the Ana once again. Really nice push from them. I'm glad to have seen TGI Scythe going onto the Reaper. It's almost too intuitive, right? If they have a Winston, they're running this hard dive composition, you get a Reaper, right? Because the fact is that Reaper isn't quite the hard counter that he used to be, but he's still a great answer to dive, and that really gave a lot of clearance for Terminate to push as hard as they did.
It's a great answer to the dive, and especially if you have an aggressive defense, Winston diving in, they are city ducks for 6 seconds, and that's exactly enough time for a Reaper just to melt it away. On the defense, though, with the Viz playing the Zarya, instead of having a peel tank, you have a more stationary off tank to protect the supports when they need it. So that's going to be a big difference maker. Is it going to be enough? Here comes the dive coming up from Mouser. Alchemiso gets taken out, but Mouser contributes and finds a kill onto Fork. No resurrection is available for Mimi is playing the Brigitte, not the Mercy. So no damage boost Ashe. That's gonna be a big difference here, Ethan, I think, as they don't have the resurrection for anyone falling. Mouser jumping up, building up that primal rage, almost 50%, actually is 50%. Popset finds the kill onto Alchemy, so the baby diva just didn't get that mech back fast enough. Tigsavi doesn't need the damage boost, gets the headshot onto Noob. Greg, they get the headshot onto Fork. So Tracers are gone, but that's going to be quick, and it's going to be a long stall and long team fight as they regroup for Yufang to try to get another attack in.
That's a key word right there, Guthix, is regroup. That's the inherent weakness of high mobility compositions, is that you run the risk of separating, isolating yourselves in individual engagements. That's really how Euphonic began to fall apart there, but they're looking to bring it back. Hopes up with a nano boost might be a really great reason to not push, though.
Yeah, I mean, you just use a nano boost onto Offset. Offset gets it done, gets a double kill. Bob's just slept by Danger Noodle. Very nice sleep coming out from her, and well, it's a bit of a momentum switch, actually. All the way in the back lines. Mouser, look at that. She's all the way up on the high ground. It's going to be Mimi trying to pressure them down. Mouser dangerously low, trying to get out with their lives, but the supports are in not a good position. And you lose that main tank of Mouser. It's going to be really costly here. They're going to have to regroup once again. Only a minute and 40 seconds left for this attack.
And Danger Noodle's feeling pretty good, coming up on another nano boost, and also that's the second time that they found a Bionade finish onto Noob's Tracer, so that's just a little bit of a confidence booster there on the support line. It's going to be Maismel committing the nano boost there onto Mouser. Might be enough to clear up a little bit of space. It certainly elicits a grab from Vince.
Yeah, that was a solo grab. Vince really wanted to not die to a Nano Angry Monkey. Nano Winston, I think, Ethan, is a valuable excuse to use a solo grab. It's in my book.
Especially when it's Mouser on the Winston. You need to get them out of the fight.
Yeah, you need to get Mouser out of the fight. You have the grab time just to use it. Fork drops the post bomb, does get value, easily can build one up. But double support ultimates from Mimi and Danger Noodle coming into what could be a last team fight. Tixavi has the bob, there it is, dropping it. Nice position, probably gonna get slept here if they're looking for it. Instead, it's Mouser getting slept by Danger Noodle. Danger Noodle really contributing a lot. The battle of the bobs is Tixavi's bob coming out on top. The Diva bomb is pressuring them, doesn't get anything, and Hofstep's having a field day in the back line. 30 seconds remaining. Last team fight and last hope for Euphonic.
Yeah, and you're feeling the sweat drip from your brow just a little bit. You went from nearly holding on Street's face to being put in a really tough position to attack here. You've got Mouser now on the Roadhog and Alchemisto on the Wrecking Ball, so you're going to be able to get a connection to the objective, trigger overtime, but it's going to be very tough to stay on it. There's Alchemisto and Noob now. They've only got the Pulse Bomb to work with, and soon the Nano Boost as well, but you lose Thrift in the process.
Now you lose Thrift, that's one you really want until you can resurrect someone back. Yep. They're up one here for Termina, trying to close this out. Overtime is triggered. It's the tanks and Noob that has to stay on the point. Mouser low, There's a post bomb takes out
Oh,
Alchemisto.
no,
Both takes
Alchemisto.
gone. It's just Noob that has to stay alive, but Fork deletes him from existence. That's gonna do it. And a big full hole coming out from Termina. They're gonna take an early lead in this series, 1-0. Ethan, first to two. It can be a quick one.
Yeah, so we're heading into match point territory here. I think that both of these squads are just. I think that they both played really well. Which is, I mean, that can be tough to justify sometimes, considering that one team has to lose, one team has to win. But if one of them has to lose, then I don't think that that was a bad loss from Euphonic by any extent. Greg showing their prowess on the DPS role. I liked it was the versatility from. It was the versatility, I think, from Termina that really gave them an edge. Ultimately, it's the consistency that I'll be looking from the tank lineup from Euphonic as we head into the next map in this series. It's interesting because normally you start on control point and you go to other maps from there, right? This tournament doesn't have a set map pool. It doesn't have rules that it abides by. Just as long as the map that you pick is in the competitive pool, you can play there. So because of that, we end up seeing these styles clash here on Gibraltar, and it actually, for once, early in the series, you do get a pretty good indication of what the strengths and weaknesses are of both these teams. For Control Point, I always kind of let it slide. That mode ends up being so 50-50. It's very deathmatchy. It's not quite so different to the staging, the pace that you will see on an Escort or a hybrid map. So it's going to be Euphonic's pick, and I think that they need to make a really smart decision here about what map they want to play on. For me, I think that would still be another Escort map. I might opt for something like Route 66 or Rialto.
Well, it's going to be slightly Escort, but they're going to have to cap a point first on the hybrid, and we're going to be going to King's Row, actually. That's Euphonics' pick. I would assume Termina picks the defense. Usually teams do. However, we'll have to see their selection. So hybrid style map, King's Row, I mean, it's... You can't.
My favorite map.
Love. Yeah, it's everyone's favorite map, Ethan. It's King's Row.
I love watching King's Row. I love watching Rush Mirrors. Whoa.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
You sound so thrilled, Ethan.
I'm so excited.
Another King's Row map. It's great.
No, I'll tell you, I am thrilled. I'm very. I get to watch Termina for a second day in the row, and I also get to see my personal competitive savior Greg play. That's exciting. That's really fun for me. Heading to King's Row, I'm so used to seeing this map. So I mean, you can't fault me for it's a map that I get to see very frequently. That being said, I think that I am pretty excited to see what kind of strategies are employed by both these squads. Is it going to be hefty quantities of damage from TGI and Forks? Is it going to be those hard engagement style compositions that we saw in the styles of the Monkey Diva from Euphonic? Are you going to go Disruption, or is it going to end up as a Rush Mirror? Which, don't get me wrong, Rush Mirrors, as a color caster, I'll have a lot of fun breaking that down.
Yeah, especially if in the mirror composition, it's a fun job to break that down when there's no too much versatility. Again, we're streaming here for this great charity tournament for ABK. If you want to learn more information about that, go ahead and post exclamation point ABK in the chat so you can receive a link to the charity that we're raising money for. If you do want to make a donation, do exclamation donate in the chat, and you can make a donation via the link there. All donations are non-refundable. We're gonna be getting in here, Ethan, to King's Row here in a minute, but I gotta say, I thought this was gonna be a little bit more close just starting out. Of course, it's first map, Ethan. Anything can change, and the momentum can switch. It can easily go back to Euphonic. But so far, Terminate really coming out on top so far.
I don't want it to go in the just at least this one map. I really want it to go in the favor of Euphonic. I told Greg earlier today after he carried me in a comp match. I was like, look, I'll weave the narrative in your favor today, guys. I've got your back, and I do. I see them opting for the Rush Mirror, which is a lot of fun to break down. Maybe just as fun to watch as the Goats comp back in Overwatch League 2019. But I'm pretty excited to see these guys rush at it. Well, quite literally, it's rush style compositions on both sides. Forks on the Widowmaker is going to be pretty interesting. Probably just playing for the one pick potential before they opt for a different hero. For me, I don't think that we'll see a full hold on either side here. I don't think that we'll see a stymie on Street's face. I think that it's going to be all pushing all the way to the end. And for me, I'd love to see some extra time in the bank for both of these squads on their attack round. It is going to be Euphonic on the defense first, so they're sitting in a pretty advantageous spot here.
Yeah, and we see the switch coming back out. Sai switching over to the Cassidy and Fork switching over to the Mei. A 6-man flash stun coming out from Sai. They're going to be rotating around here. On the attack is Termina, and it's on the defense. Is he fine for the blue?
Look at that rotation.
Now the shatter. It's a big shatter. A quick one. Able to slam 5 on the ground. There's a follow-up. Mouser being insane. Getting a quick Earth Shatter right there. Found the opportunity. Used it. I don't think Termina was ready for that. I doubted they thought Mouser had the Earth Shatter.
Let Vince reset, please.
No.
And that's a really good spot to be in for the defense. Oh, Vin's actually got the remake, but they're immediately taken back out. Nice wall as well there from Forks to prevent a follow-up on May's mouse window.
Yeah, there's Greg. He's able to get one.
Overcommitment.
And that was such a long stagger for the Diva. They're just walking forward. They're going to get even a longer stagger, push them all the way to the spawn point, Ethan. Vin's able to get the remake, but they immediately delete it and eliminate it fully. That's the biggest stagger you can get for a Baby Diva.
Yeah, because that fight immediately skewed. Where it might have been swingable there for Termina, it immediately rebalanced in the favor of Euphonic. Oh, there's this shatter. It's a 6-man as well. Oh, my Reinhardt mains in the chat. They are all going to have sweet dreams of this shatter tonight. What a fantastic display from Mouser. A team kill here for Euphonic, and look, Mouser's working on their 3rd shatter right now. Hofstep is still sitting on their 1st, so they really want a reason to use that ultimate. Termina also has several ults coming into this fight. If you want to combo the Shatter with the Blizzard or the Window, you can. But at least let's get TGI to use that Deadeye.
Well, there's the Blizzards coming out from both sides. Freezing the Reinhardt charging in. It's Sai using the High Noon to try to get something. Able to get one. Hasep taking out the Reinhardt and has a reason to use a Shatter, but doesn't get anything. Fork taking on counterpart of Noob on the Mei, and finally Fork getting it done with the Mei. They're going to be able to probably build a 1 tick here. It's going to be 1, maybe 2 ticks. And have to be careful to try to avoid a retake. 2 ticks to give it. With a DMAC from Alchemiso, that should be 3. They're going to get this point for Termina to get this cart moving. But Mouser has a 3rd shatter compared to Hofstep's only 1. Outstanding play coming out from Mouser on the main tank, Ethan.
Yeah, really, really good stuff, and it's a solid defense here as well. You have a window to commit to this fight, but it's just a little too far forward for my taste. It does get the immortality out from Mimi, who's working on their own Amp Matrix. Nice block on the Shatter as well there from Hofstep.
Yeah, there's the block on the Shatter, but instead Shield's just deleted by the rest of the team. Hofstep falls. They're down 2. And Euphonic has a great position here in the choke. Just a deadly position. They can build up another Blizzard. But Fork actually is going to have the Blizzard for this next fight.
This is perpetually where you want to play. If you're allotted that space, if you don't have the respawns coming in poorly for the defense, this is where you always opt for. And for the attack to rotate onto this high ground while Vince fights for the remake here, this is actually a pretty smart play from them. They're going to be able to drop, but they're cut off by Noob's wall.
Oh, there's a cutoff there. Able to break in. The Blizzard's there. Follow up, but instead the damage is done. They get 2. Greg, that's doing it. He gets the double elimination and the DMAC onto Vin's. The damage is done. Mouser is taken out. Greg, they're picking up the 4-man. Instead, gets punched in the face by the Baby Diva of Vin's.
And that's still the 30. That's still the 30 damage melee as well. That's not the 100 damage melee that Baby Diva was doing on the content creator patch.
No, that's way too much.
Dreadful, absolutely terrifying. It's not too bad to lose the fight.
Insane.
Yeah, That's not a bad fight to lose for Euphonic. They have some really good ults to bank into this fight, but they're going to have to use them first, I think. We'll have to see the beat drop in response to Halfstep's Shatter, hoping that Thrift can stay disconnected long enough for that.
There's an awkward diva bomb actually. The shatter is used, and it's the shatter coming out from Mouser from the back line after charging in. Beat from Seesaw comes in, but they're down 2. It has to be the tanks and the supports that have to get it done. Greg, the amplification matrix, high noon from Cassidy, outplays so much damage. Diva bomb over the top just to zone him out, get a remech. Thrift being thrifty finds the elimination on Mimi. And they are regrouping once again. Euphonic wants this full hold on to B site.
Yeah, and they've got the Blizzard to help themselves secure their position. It's going to be up to Mimi to use this Amp Matrix to make sure that they can keep the rest of the squad alive if anyone is caught out in that Blizzard. But Greg is going to be dishing out some lethal doses of damage there with that Deadeye. You're just going to have to find an angle around this corner, around this cart, that the defenders are going to be able to play really easily. Early Amp Matrix and a nice wall as well from Noob, but that Matrix is not usable.
Mouser's going to have a 5th shatter here already coming up online. Vince has to keep an eye out for Noob's Blizzard. If Noob gets that down, could be devastating. There it is. They get it down, but they're able to speed out. And Fort gets their Blizzard. Blizzard's all over point, but no one is frozen. There's a shatter. Catches Fork on the ground. Mouser immediately deleted. Greg stepping up. Has the high noon looking for a kill. Zoning everyone out. Gets the D-Mech onto Vince. Now Greg trying to get the eliminations. Instead, Hopstep meets him with a hammer. Swings it left and right, take them out. Mimi contributed, gets the kill onto Baptiste of Maze Mel. The stalls are coming in. Mouser switching over to the Wrecking Ball. Alchemiso, Diva Bomb on the left side card. Everyone can safely be zoned out. Immortality feels just the cherry on top of the milkshake there, Ethan. Keep everyone healthy. They're going to cruise into point B, get some extra time to push it all the way to point C.
I was watching Hovsep swing on all the targets except for Thrift. I just thought that was really funny. Thrift is able to live as long as they were, means that they'll be coming into this next fight with a sound barrier. No Blizzard to use it against, but it is at least mirrored with Seesaw's sustaining power with their sound barrier as well. What this means is that whoever drops the sound barrier first here is able to rush into the mid lines of the other team and possibly get a free fight win.
It's going to be a defense first. The Immortality field just behind that mate wall. Mouser gets taken now. Termina's trying to finish this with time in the time bank. They both had the sound barrier still. Mouser needs to get back from the spawn. It's a Diva Bomb in the corner just for the remix. Greg takes out Hopstep. Seesaw drops a beat. So close to finishing it. But the Cassidys have been really stepping up. Sai takes out Alchemiso. Sai finds a kill onto Thrift. That's 2. The spawns are just too close, and you don't have the Reinhardt Hopstep. Bring back with the Shatter, 30 seconds remaining. Sai used the high noon, speeding around the ice wall. Need to get the shield, it's eaten up, but the big Shatter coming in from Hopstep. Knights 3 onto the ground. The Blizzard following up there, and they finish with 16 seconds in the time bank, Ethan. That can be a real difference maker on Euphonic's attack.
At that point, finishing King's Row with any time remaining is a massive boon for Termina. That's a really good win for them. Now they just need to make sure that their defense is as enabled as their attack was. I'm looking forward to seeing the untethered aggression from this squad. That last fight, honestly, it got a little bit messy at times. Ultimately, it was the inability, rather. You didn't have the luxury for Euphonic to really stabilize there. Respawns, you had called Gothics, they were just coming in, and so it was a tough situation that they were in, having to play the cart for cover, and then by the time they get their full team in, Hovsep is already reconnected and is taking space with the Deadeye from TGI Psy. So really, really good stuff from both teams. Ultimately, it was just the opportunity was never afforded to Euphonic to really defend as well as they'd like there. It's gonna be that rush mirror for both sides here as Euphonic begins to observe how they want to go about this attack. I think that we just need to see just pure aggression from them. I think that we need to see Mouse or 2 be able to press W and Mouse 1 as Reinhardt Mouse 1. Mouser 2 is pressing mouse 1. I think that's kind of funny.
It's M1 and W. That's what you do when you
That's
play
right.
Reinhardt, right? Just MW, M1 and W. Swing the hammer, get a shatter, drop it down.
That's right.
That's how you play. And Mouser's been doing a fantastic job at that, picking up a 6-2 or 6-3 ratio of shatters. 50% more than Offset. Been stepping up here on the main tank role. Mouser dangerously low, and well, Offset's in kind of trapped by Fork, and he's still trapped in the mini health back room.
I didn't know that
Able to get out.
interaction existed.
Yeah, I did not know either. The early shatter from Mouser once again doesn't get anyone though. They're gonna get control of this point. They're gonna build up one tick. They're looking for 2. They might be able to get 2. And here's a rotation coming out. The remech from Biz, dangerously low and immediately gone. Mimi takes out Alchemiso though, and it's Sai with the high noon trying to walk around the main wall quickly, and there it is. Sai still holding it, but Greg bring the counter high noon and the pick onto Vince. Oh my gosh, you gotta be kidding me. That's ridiculous. The Cassidys are doing it, but it's Greg. They come out on top with their high noon and the follow-up. Wow, what just happened?
I mean, that was swing potential demonstrated by both sides. TGI saying, don't worry, guys, I got this, and then Greg striking back there with a Deadeye, leading now a little bit in ultimate charge because they were able to stay sustained by Mazemal. Really brilliant of the Baptiste player for Euphonic to stay alive for that. It means that this next push is going to be a very straightforward endeavor. You're working towards the beat if you're Thrift to make sure that you sustain this fight. Hopefully Seesaw doesn't drop theirs first.
Yeah, hopefully. You have to keep an eye on. But Hot Step also has a shatter, and they're in an awkward position. Immortality field there. Shatter comes out, blocked by the main wall. Seesaw uses the beat, and the main Blizzard follow up. Thrift try and keep everyone healthy and alive with their beat, but the damage is just too much. You honestly, Ethan, the beat from a Lucio is just not enough to survive a Blizzard. It really isn't.
No, the extra, it's like what, 800 health provided.
Yeah.
It's so, you got to be so specific with the timing for Blizzard, for Grav Dragon, and now you've got nothing in terms of defense besides an ammo field quickly expired in the face of the amp matrix from Mimi.
Well, there's an amplification matrix. They have very nasty position actually. Mouser picks up the double kill. There's a Diva Bomb and Shatter underneath, catches no one. But it's actually Fork that's in an awkward position. Back line coming out on top is Euphonic. They're going to win this team fight. And going to get this around the second corner, looking to cross it into B.
I think they're gonna have a good time putting this car into that second objective, mainly because they got both DPS ultimates to work with, as well as Alchemisto's self-destruct. That's gonna buy you a lot of space. All you have to do is just outplay the Blizzard from Forks. They're gonna look to lock the Euphonic squad in place, but the Deadeye is gonna buy a little bit of time here.
Gonna buy a little bit of time. It might buy a lot more of Alchemy.
There's the bomb.
Diva Bomb finds the double kill in the back line. That does it. Mouser cleans it up, finds 2. They're going to coast into point B here right after Forks. So takes a chill pill in that chill icicle. There it is. 4 minutes and 10 seconds. Very impressive time bank for Euphonic.
And again, this is exactly what Euphonic needed to do in order to win this match, was just be able to push in persistently, just not be stopped by anything. Any of the myriad win conditions that Terminat has to work with. They're still going to try and get a fight win around this corner. Early Maywall by Forks may actually spell doom for this push, though.
Might spell doom. They had to use the Immortality Field. There's the Shatter. Only catches Viz on the ground. Greg takes outside, and the Blizzard's gonna be a nice zoning ultimate. It will pick up 2, Hotstep and Mimi. As long as they're careful, and Thrift is definitely careful and finds the kills. It's a support stepping up here, Ethan, with that DPS damage.
And look at the supports for both of these teams as well now. You've got Amplification Matrices and and sound barriers to work with for both squads. It's down to if Terminate can utilize the position they're in to make space for their ults. For now, it's going to be the Deadeye from Greg, and like I said, that buys a little bit of space, but I don't know if it's enough to work with here for Euphonic.
Well, offset shatters block, the beats used, and the blizzard is big. It freezes 4. Beats being deleted and gone. Now the beat from Seesaw gives them the extra shields they need to walk in and win this team fight. Fork says, thank you very much, I'll take it from here. Finds the triple kill and sends them back and packing into the spawn point. Plenty of time though, 2 minutes and 35 seconds, Ethan. Try to push this all the way. However, big difference, they need to push it all the way because Termina did finish the map.
Yes, that's exactly right. So Termina is looking to, they're looking to defend here in full force, and with tank ultimates coming online. For now, it's going to be TGI size Deadeye pushing Euphonic back into a narrow enclosure where Vince Asian's bomb isn't going to get enough value. So it's a little bit of a push and pull, ebb and flow here as Greg commits the Deadeye as well.
Here's Greg trying to find some value, and now they're in a tiny corner, and the shatter is
on the shatter.
canceled out. That's big. Side gets a elimination on Mouser right before the shatter comes out. That could have been deadly. Everyone in that tiny room. Side coming in clutch there, Ethan. Really big difference maker, big play. Now they have the Blizzard from Nuke. That's all they're going to get. Mazebell will build up that amplification matrix, but it's eyes on the maze with blizzards for both teams, or Fork and Noob. Who's gonna land it? It's gonna be coming out from Fork first. Mouser gets frozen, quickly taken out because Alchemiso is out of mech. Noob gets a kill on a Fork, but it's still red in the advantage, and with Hobset contributing a 2 total, they're going to be able to win that team fight. 1 minute and 10 seconds only left to push it all the way, Ethan.
And you really need to push it all the way because as long as you finish with time, you still get another opportunity to attack. Euphonic trying to keep their hopes alive for the series. You're going to get the remake finally from Alchemisto, but you're getting pushed back once again by the Deadeye. Maywall precarious to operate around, but a nice use of the defense matrix from Alchemisto might open this fight.
Nice eat!
Oh, no!
Shatter! He jumped from the stairs down. He might have got booped by Thrift. Lands 3, but both Reinhardt's traded. That's key, and that's big. Spawn advantage slightly on the side for Euphonic. They use the amplification matrix just to get a little more space here. Mouser has a shatter. We know how deadly they can be on the Reinhardt and that shatter. Noob still holding on to the Blizzard. Greg, they're gonna use I knew it!
Oh no, Fork!
Fork lifts him up in the air. There's the shatter. Catches 2 in the back line. Key one is Seesaw. They're coming up in the kill feed, and they're gonna be able to finish this map. 10 seconds remaining. Slightly slower than the Termina, Ethan. But still, at least they finished the map, and they have another chance in this overtime push.
And it's a difference of 8 seconds as well in favor of Terminate. So, 8 seconds, it's a lot, but it's also very little, right? So the approach for both of these teams as they begin to formulate their plans for their next attack, it really just has to be capture the objective and then move it as far as we possibly can. For the defense, it's going to be full hold this first point. We have a minute to do so. Relatively straightforward endeavor, right? And if you continue opting for the Rushmere, well, both of those strategies are pretty equally viable. You've got the sustain, the staying power, the extensions of the rush composition in the form of the May Ice Wall and the Immortality Field to make sure that you're able to stay in a certain position, like the objective, or you have the speed from Thrift or Seesaw, able to propel you at a momentum which is simply not manageable by the defenders. So for me, it's going to come down to those extensions, the Immortality Field, the Ice Walls. And you've heard me call out a couple of early uses of Ice Walls, Ammo Fields, Amplification Matrices, and really that's where you can see the beginning of the end for some of these team fights. So just a little bit of cleanup there for both of these squads. And Euphonic, they're in a great position to keep this to keep themselves alive in this matchup.
Well, they're going to have a minute to do it to try at least cap point A and see how far they can push it. The main walls are used from both sides. Mouser dangerously low and gets frozen. Immortality Field perfectly timed to keep them alive. And it's just a brawl fest out on point. Noob, though, gets frozen. Able to get the shield and defense matrix from Alchemy. So 30 seconds remaining. This is going to be one team fight scenario. They have to come out on top of the shatter. Coming out from Homestead. It gets 5 on the ground. And they are dominating here. Termina wins the team fight. 17 seconds remain, and the stall kill onto Alchemiso. They're gonna only have 10 seconds. They're gonna have to switch over here. Who's gonna be able to touch? It's gonna have to be Thrift onto Lucio. Speed boost out. Can't get deleted. Has to get on point. They're able to maybe touch. Did they get there? No, they didn't get it. Thrift got taken out right before the touch. And it was Hopset coming in with the Reinhardt Shatter, Ethan, that was really the difference maker right there.
And I was watching as well, Fork's ultimate charge just tick, tick, tick up towards, I think it was 70% at the end of that fight, and it was 99 by the time you got a connection of the objective from Thrift there. That's the really interesting thing about the rush composition is every ultimate ends up becoming a new potential win condition. It's not quite like it's not quite like playing traditional dive comp and you're relying on Nanoblade to really make something happen. It's, you know what, we didn't get anything with the Shatter, so if we need the Blizzard, we've got it. If we need the Ant Matrices, we have those. If I need to drop the beat so that we can free swing to get just that extra 30% towards the next Shatter, we can do that. Really nice hold by Terminus there, and I feel like that was a big part of that was Hovsep and their capacity to just really play main tank very well. The other part of it though was the expenditure, really smart expenditure in my opinion of those rush composition extensions. Again, the Maywall, the Immortality Field, enabling them to build up those ultimates in a really timely manner. You saw the entire time that Termina was leading the lobby in terms of ultimate percentage. They're going to look to do the same thing on their attack, but they have just as little time to work with.
Well, they're going to be bringing out the mirror here once again. They have 8 seconds more. It could be a difference maker here, folks. That 8 seconds could make or break for this attack. Termina just needs 33% to win it. And Euphonic needs to draw this map to try to push it to a map 3 and possibly map 4. Terminal wants to finish it here. They're being aggressive. They walk onto point. Just force them to stay on it. Mouser trying to build up that Shatter dangerously low. Needs to get the heals. The main wall is big. And Mouser gets taken out. That's one. Hot Step trying to step on and apply some pressure. Sai gets the kill onto Greg. And they are slowly falling. Hot Step gets it done. The Shatter is canceled. But the damage is done. And Sai cleans it up. 33%. Easy. Tick, tick, boom. There it is, and it's going to be Termina walking away with this first of 2 series, winning it 2-0, Ethan, and quite impressive is this team of Termina.
Yeah, they're a really good squad. I got to watch them yesterday go against UG, and it's interesting. It's an interesting matchup. Look at how quickly that wings. Holy moly! This is a yeah. DJI really came into their own that particular game there. They've been consistent this whole series, but it was a nice adjustment seeing them take up the Reaper on Gibraltar as well as the Cole Cassidy on Kings Row. You look at Cole Cassidy and you're like, okay, easy value hero to play. You know, power crept into a strong position. The fact is that we like good Cole Cass gameplay. We got to see that from both of these sides. For Terminate, this is a really, I wouldn't even say fortuitous win. You're still kind of on the edge here. If you end up losing any of the consecutive matches, then you're permanently out of the tournament. You've already incurred that one loss. This is double elimination tournament. So unfortunately, this is the end of the line for Euphonic. A little unlucky, especially since I wanted Greg to come out with a win. In particular, Greg, thank you for the carry my comp game earlier, and really well played on the side of Euphonic.
That was a really good play for Euphonic, and we appreciate Euphonic coming out here and raising money for this wonderful charity. Again, find information !ABK in the chat, and if you want to make a donation, !donate in the chat as well. All donations are non-refundable. We're gonna be getting here your viewer MVP shortly, but Termina walking away here with the win. Their hopes are still alive to try to go all the way and try to win this in grand finals. and complete the gauntlet, which is the loser bracket. I gotta say, Hopstep really stepping up here on the main tank role right there at the end. Sai and DPS is insane. All of these team members for Termina, Ethan, are very, very impressive, and definitely a team to want to keep a lookout here in the loser bracket. But I mean, I gotta say, Ethan, if you're looking at this team in Termina, they could go all the way here in the loser bracket and then play it for the grand finals pretty easily. They're very convincingly good.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. They're going to be going up against they're going to be going up against
Access code required. Welcome.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back for that extended break just to get everyone set up here. We are continuing our content for this awesome charity stream for ABK. If you want to check out more information, go ahead and put exclamation point ABK in the chat. Also, if you want to make a donation to this great cause, do exclamation donate. Make a donation via the link. All donations are non-refundable. We're going to be continuing the action here in the lower loser bracket. It's going to be Terminut still, and joining them is Defrost Ethan, coming off from that loss in the winner's bracket.
Yeah, and Defrost I think is going to be a really interesting matchup against this Terminate team. we've gotten to see them twice in the lower bracket, once yesterday and on the main channel, and then once today, of course, this evening. I think that Defrost is a better matchup for Terminate than Tengu's JJ Crew is. I got to watch them yesterday, and as I alluded to earlier, I think that they would have been maybe a little bit too strong for Terminus. But really, there's no way to tell, no way to know for sure, because they didn't end up dropping. It's gonna be Defrost vying for the win here to keep to stay alive here in the lower bracket. Once one of these two squads drops a series, they're done in the tournament. So Defrost definitely looking to, coming off of their first loss, they're really looking to make sure that this momentum doesn't steer wrong for them.
Yeah, you don't want the momentum to fade, right? I mean, you pick up your first loss. It's pretty late in the winner's bracket, so you've definitely beaten a lot of teams. You're used to it, and now you have a jump start in the loser bracket. You jump ahead, and you have to win fewer games to go all the way. However, I gotta say, Terminus, they're on that win streak in this loser bracket. They started earlier, Ethan, and they're able to keep that momentum moving forward. If they can do that, they can go all the way and then face whoever is in the grand finals in the winner's side of it. We're going to get started here shortly once both teams are good and set to go. But our first map is a control style map, Ethan. It's Lijiang Tower, and what a great map for control. I feel like I've casted this map so many more times than any other control map.
Yeah, Lijiang Tower is it's arguably one of the more popular control point maps. It's up there compared to less favored maps like Busan and Oasis in particular. It really comes as no surprise to me that Lijiang Tower is going to be the map that is opted for initially. It is a little surprising that it is the control point map. So that means that I think it's Defrost who gets to choose the map here. It means that they have a particular style, and that's going to be engaging in the death match. They want to control space, but they want to be able to do it on a map that where the strategies are going to be pretty reliable here. Lijiang Tower, I look at it as just one of those maps where you kind of got to meta slave it out. You're going to see the spam composition, spam damage comp in Lijiang Control Center. You're going to see the teleport strategy come up on Night Market, and you do have a little bit more leeway if you head into Gardens if the match goes that far. But definitely for Defrost, they're looking to pick up a quick 2-0 here in this first control point map, and then a 2-0 in the series entirely.
Yeah, they want to try to pick up this early win, and definitely a 2-0 victory is ideal. Defrost coming out in the winner's bracket, though, Ethan, they put up a fight and only lost 2-1, so they took one map away. So I think this one's going to be a pretty good match for us to cast. I mean, overall, Ethan, I love casting Overwatch. It's a great game. Fun game. So many exciting moments between high-level teams, and definitely some really high-level teams still in the tournament in this loser bracket and also in the winner bracket. So every match from here on out, folks, is going to just keep getting better, and better. For us, though, make sure you put in your vote for MVP for this series, and the viewers don't vote yet. We haven't started, though. Offset picked up that last map series MVP, Ethan. I'm expecting to see Hopstep really step up to that MVP from the last series and just kind of do what he does best, and that is play main tank, whether that's Reinhardt or Winston.
I'm pretty excited as well to see Defrost. They're making their debut for me, so I'm pretty excited to see the strategies that they employ, the heroes that they want to play and specialize in. It's definitely going to be an interesting matchup, particularly in the DPS lineup against TGI Psy and Forks. I think that just between those two DPS players in particular, Defrost might struggle just a little bit. We saw TGI Sai really has and engages in that clutch potential, the swing factor, and I think that if we do go to, or not if, since we are going to this control point style map, I think that that's going to be a really great stage to shine a light on the DPS lineup for Terminate.
Yeah, I'm curious what kind of option they go in compositions. We're going to get into their map, both teams set and ready to go. Curious to see if one of these teams brings out that Fair Mercy composition. It might not be here on this inside map, Legion Tower. So we're going to go first. But on Gardens, perhaps, you might play that spam composition without that Sin teleporter. And Night Market, you might be bringing that out as well. Same thing. But I know I saw Cookies for Platts play it. Unfortunately, they're out. I was really cheering for them, Ethan. But my new team is Termina. I think they could go the distance here in the loser bracket. Come on, Termina, make me proud. Let's see if you can get it done. So take a look at these hero compositions. ISO Exo. Look at this. Playing the Roha? Nope. It's a Sigma, Ethan. Just teasing us there.
Like I said, you gotta adhere to the meta a little bit closer on this particular map than on even the others in on Lijiang Tower. It's gonna be the Sigma Rhine style brawl composition with a spam damage from X-Bear and K-Andre, as well as Forks and TGI Sai. Right now, losing megawatts is absolutely brutal here, though, for Defrost.
Oh, that's devastating. You have to be aggressive if you want to win this team fight, but losing Wrecking Ball, not playing the Wrecking Ball, playing the Reinhardt, that's going to be a big elimination. And Fork having field day on the Junkrat. Look at that, picking up 2 more. That's going to be going on to the side of, it's going to be Terminal coming out. Gate control this first point and be a dominant force already for 40% to that Rip Tire and climbing.
I had warned us about these DPS here for Terminate. Not quite close enough to those ults, and ooh, beautiful Shatter there from Wrecking Ball. They've been working on building that. They're going to clean up this fight with that Shatter, and I mean, we see the Amp Matrix go up, we see the Nano Boost applied, and yeah, that's a really good support ultimate, but it's also Shatter bait, and unfortunately, unfortunately Terminate ends up falling victim to it. That's okay. It's going to be a quick re-engagement. Seesaw is respawning now. They're close to the sound barrier, and that will help them to push through this choke and the overwhelming damage coming through from Defrost.
You win the team fight with one ultimate, Wrecking Ball Shatter. Now you have the other ultimates to win this team fight. It's going to be the Amplification Matrix stepping up, getting some more damage through that. It'll be Hop Step Volley, and you really are in a pretty good position now. You have ultimates online, and it's in this choke. It's really hard to walk through. They're going through, they pop the Flux, but the tire from Keandre looking for victims in the backline doesn't get any. Instead, Fork finds a victim, Vexbear, and it's red in the kill feed. That's going to be enough, I think, Ethan, to at least walk in here. Yep, the cleanup's going to come out from the side of Terminate. They're going to flip this point over, but 50% build up. 51, the stall from Hatcher. Gonna build up a few more, actually.
Oh, no, it's actually very swingable here.
Wait a second, this is winnable. Hatcher gets taken out, but Wrecking Ball's on the point, and it has megawatts healing. There's X-Bear finds one. It does go and flip over. Finally, Sai and Fork gave the kills. Thought that could have gone the other way, but they were able to hold on there, Ethan.
Yeah, and they've got some ultimates coming to this next one. You're gonna see Defrost want to opt for some of these, yeah, like the photon barriers coming out from both sides. Wrecking Ball looking for the opportunity to shatter, but you really can't with that photon barrier.
Well, it actually sneaks through on the left side of it, but there wasn't enough follow-up. DPS X-Bear finds the trap trick, finds 3, and it's all blue in the kill feed. They're gonna flip this one over about a match of percent, 61-63, now forcing a last team fight scenario.
Yeah, because that point percentage racks up pretty quickly. Now, Defrost doesn't have quite as many tools in their little box to work with, but Keandre might be able to make something really happen with this tire, wanting to use it before Fork has the opportunity to use theirs. That's not what's going to be happening, but nice concussion mine eliminates that ultimate there for Forks.
Now you don't have any ultimates yet. Vin's is gonna have the flux, but the tire coming out for Keandre and the shatter following up. And it's gonna be big. It gets 3 megawatts, finds the triple kill with the Baptiste. And Baptiste really is just another DPS character, Ethan. Gotta say that. 100% to 61. And it's gonna be Defrost coming out on top early on. Lijiang Tower picking up this first round win.
As a prolific Baptiste player myself, I can certifiably say that that Baptiste simply does too much damage. He really just dishes it out. That's a really nice map pickup as well there from Defrost. They're going to lead this series, or rather lead this particular map at least for now. But now we're on the now we're on Gardens. So this is the map in particular for Lijiang that you've got a little bit of leeway with the composition that you want to run. Is running that spam damage kind of composition with the SimTP still relatively strong? Absolutely. You want to connect to the point really quickly and stay on it. But another composition that's really good here is the 6-man comp, and that's what we're going to see from both sides. Interesting enough, TGI is going to be on the Reaper while X-Bear takes up the Tracer. Lots of damage on both sides, but the hacks from Forks and Keandre, that's what's really going to be making a difference here.
Yeah, hacks come out from both sides. Vin's finds first blood onto X-Bear. The Reaper over the Tracer. I think it's just going to apply more of the brawl damage on the front line. Offset takes out Keandre. This Reaper pick, I think it's going to be a big difference maker here, Ethan. As the point goes over to Termina, they're going to start building up that percent.
It's going to be down to the engagement that... yeah, it's going to be down to the engagement that both of these squads take. You do have X-Bear looking to kind of divert a little bit of attention away from front lines. That buys Megawatts a little bit of time to operate with this Coalescence, which does come out first.
Yeah, it comes out first. Mimi will try and build up to theirs, but it's not going to be quick enough. And it's Megawatts finds a double kill. The Coalescence was online before Mimi, and that just wins them the team fight flat out. It's so important, Ethan, to have the Coalescence ready to match the other Coalescence to keep the team fight alive.
Yeah, because not only is it good for doing healing and damage, it also makes some considerable space. There's just something about unmitigable damage that really discourages you from playing in a particular position. Mimi does have that advantage now coming to this fight, though. They'll be able to use the Coalescence to dissuade Defrost from playing around particularly strong angles for them. However, Keandre with this EMP might be able to shut that down as soon as it's deployed. I'm curious about who EMPs first here. It's gonna be Forks.
Yeah, but Keandre didn't get hit. Now the EMP comes out, only hits Vince. The Death Blossom from Psy, able to get one, then deleted, exploded by ISO Exo Diva Bomb. It's an all-out brawl fest on point. Take Ultimate still online. Mimi still has a Coalescence, gonna pop it. Megawatts not even close to a Coalescence. Gonna be melted down, keeping the health and team alive. Find the kill on Hatcher. X-Bear, post-bomb elimination. Mimi stepping up, but X-Bear coming right back. It's a 3v3 fight on the point. So it's the one support, 2 DPS, and ISOX with the baby diva finds a kill before getting taken out, and jumping in is the Winston of Wrecking Ball. They do have control of the point Termina. That's key. Vince gets taken out. Hobosep does have the Primal Rage, but gets hacked. Taken out is immediately, and they're gonna flip this point right back over. Hobosep got hacked there, Ethan, right at the end, so couldn't use that Primal Rage to stall it out more.
Yeah, it's ultimately better that Terminate saves that that particular ultimate. They'll be able to combo that with Fork's EMP to just juggle around some hapless victims of Defrost. However, these opportunistic fights that happen where both teams are down a side, that's really where the 6-man composition begins to break down, and that's really what Defrost was able to utilize to really take advantage of this fight. Now they're able to really be proactive with their ultimates here.
Yeah, and the ultimate from Keandre coming out first with the EMP. They weren't able to keep them alive. Forks didn't get hit, so they thought they could counteract that EMP. But I think Forks needed to bring it out first. 87% build up, 88, 89, counting 10 seconds remain. Fork should be able to touch here. They're going to be able to trigger overtime at least. And Hofstad has some primal race to stall it out. And Sai has the Death Blossom, has to get high value. Here it is. Overtime is triggered. Hofstad pops the primal rate, gets hacked immediately, so can't jump around, but 1000 HP. Sai looking for the opportunity to use the Death Blossom. B from Seesaw is a little late, and Mimi is dead. Trying to flip it over. They need to get it here to at least keep their hopes alive for Lijiang Tower. There's the Death Blossom, finds 1 and 2, takes out the both DPS. That can be a big swing factor here for Termina. They're going to find the push off for ISOXO. Seesaw the punch Hatch onto Hatcher. They're going to flip it over, and now it could be a last fight team territory for Termina.
Yes, and importantly, Mimi has the Coalescence as well. Megawatts is going to be coming up on theirs relatively soon, but no defensive utility on either side to speak of. So really, Defrost is at a slight disadvantage this fight, depending on when we see the Coalescence deployed by Mimi, sooner rather than later, hopefully.
Well, there's a Coalescence coming out for Mimi, try to take advantage. Megawatts has a Coalescence. And it's the crossing of the beams, just like Ghostbuster style, but it's right in the kill feed. Viz able to get the kill on the Megawatts, and it's all downhill from there, and all uphill for Termina. 4, 5, looking for the rest of them. Forks does fall, however, that should be it. EXO on the Baby Diva. They're trying to stall this one now. It can be flippable. X-Bear gets a kill on Mimi. That's a start. X-Bear taking out though. EMP coming out from Keandre. And the Diva of ISOXO has re-engaged. And here comes the Wrecking Ball. Offset able to get 2, and Sai with a Death Blossom finds ISOXO. A Primal Rage of Wrecking Ball is going to stall out the point for a little longer. But that should be it. Should be deleted. Expert switching to the sim just to get on point, but that's gonna do it, Ethan. Honestly, they can't survive this, and it's 100% to 99, 1-1. We're going to the third round of Lijiang Tower, and we have a close series so far.
Yeah, it's been a really close showdown here on Control Point map. Both these teams really wanting to make sure that they don't drop out of the lower bracket, and therefore the tournament as well. Nice demonstration on the 6-man composition from both sides, and now we really get to see different looks come out from both these compositions. No longer mirroring or playing the mirrored game. It looks like Tournament really wants to opt for their strengths, and as well, we're going to get something really reliable from Defrost. They're going to utilize the 6-man composition, but instead of a Winston, it's going to be a Reinhardt for point presence. Meanwhile, it's going to be a full disruption style composition emerging from the side of Termina. I think that both teams, as long as you use the map to your advantage with your respective composition, you can really chalk this one up to a win for either side. For now, it's going to be connection initially on the side of Defrost, but it probably won't last long because of the nature of the disruption comp.
No, they have set up the car wash with X-Bear's turrets up on the point. They're bunkering down, and Hatcher gets a kill onto Forks. That's one you don't see all the time. Lucille taking out Tracer. Usually it's the opposite way. They're taking the fight to them, though. Wrecking Ball gets Seesaw, so Brigida's gone. One support, and now takes out the other. Wrecking Ball's just rolling around like a hamster, but it's playing the Reinhardt, Ethan. And still gave the kills. Takes out both supports. They're going to come out on top, have control of this point, and Defrost trying to win this map at Lijiang Tower.
They'll be coming up on both incredible offensive and defensive utility to win this next fight as well. It should be a free win for them as long as the Photon Barrier comes out in time, or rather against the Tactical Visor from TGI's side. And the Amplification Matrix, provided it's built up quickly enough from Megawatts, is going to help to buy a little bit of time for TGI to actually get that ultimate. It's an aggressive push, though, here with the 6-man composition, and the early Matrix really solidifies this fight win.
I think the Frost is really doing what they need to do to win against this this mobile composition. They're taking the fight to them. They're not just bunkering up here on the point. And if they are doing that, then it's kind of deadly. However, Sai switching over to the Pharah and Cecil on the Mercy, this is what I was talking about right before we started, Ethan. Are we
Yep.
going to see this very mobile disruption composition with the Pharah Mercy? So now, no longer can Defrost take the fight to them, because if they do, they're out in the open, and Sai can just pressure them down. Sai has to try find a pick pushing in, and this disruption's going to come in really big, but not if ISOXO pushes Hopstep off the cliff. The high noon for Cassia. Keandre takes out Sai. Sai gets a kill on Keandre again, but Megawatts picks him off with the headshot. No resurrection there. And without the Pharah pressuring them, they can actually walk out onto point. Hopstep, Wrecking Ball back on. Now they're walking in 93, 94%, and they have so many ultimates in the bank. They can easily walk away with this one if they're careful. There's the implication matrix. The transcendence all over the point, keep everyone healthy and alive. But the Shatter and the Wrecking Ball of Wrecking Ball, not the hero, but the Reinhardt on the side of the Frost coming out clutch and big, 100% to 0. Ethan, the Frost taking an early lead in this series, 1-0.
And now we're beginning to see the reason why Defrost really wanted to play on Lijiang Tower, why they wanted to play on the control style map, giving them a lead in this series, putting us into match point territory. It's best of 2, so you want to pick up as many maps as possible. If that's the game, if that's the name of the game, then Defrost is accomplishing that in a big way. We'll have to see if this if the strength, the coordination, and the synergy of the compositions that they're running continue to be a factor of strength for them as we head into the next map. But the next map, the advantage does sit a little bit with Termina, who are afforded the next map pick.
Yeah, Expert picking up 41 elimination, 63% of kill percentage for Defrost. Expert being insane on a DPS roll, Ethan.
Yeah.
Of course, there was a lot of Symmetra, and we know that Symmetra can output a lot of damage.
Quite tuned, yeah, quite well tuned.
Quite well tuned. That's one way to put it. Ethan, we're gonna get your second map here shortly. It's gonna be Termina picking that second map. If you want to keep up with all the action though from the other stream over on the main channel, make sure you do exclamation ABK Discord, join Discord server. You'll see the link there, and you can tag along with the other our fellow casters and production crew over there on the main channel. But thank you for sticking with us here on this channel in the losers bracket. Our next map that's picked by Termina is going to be Rialto. And what a great map of Rialto. I mean, that's a fun one.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Rialto, and I was sitting here in my chair thinking to myself, don't pick Kings Row, don't pick Kings Row, don't pick Kings Row. And not so much because I didn't want to see it, but Termina has already had their run-in with the mirrored rush composition this evening. And also, considering the composition that Defrost seems very comfortable playing, really, Kings Row is not the stage that you would like to battle them on. Instead, Termina opting for a little bit of a smarter choice, in my opinion, going for Rialto, which is really good at fostering a lot of different styles of gameplay. I think that's absolutely the right call. You're also substituting in Danger Noodle for Seesaw, so bringing in an Ana specialist is going to be very helpful, possibly very enabling as well if you want to run a dive style composition, or if you'd like to run that double shield comp, you can put Zen and Bap there, Mimi and Danger Noodle on the backlines, and you have a really strong backline to go up against Defrost's aggression. We'll have to see what both of these teams opt for in terms of strategy, getting the ready from both of them, and then we'll head into the map here shortly.
Well, I mean, you see Danger Noodle coming in. We've seen her Ana. She's been absolutely fantastic with it. I wouldn't be surprised if we see an Ana Mercy composition, and we see that Pharah and that Disruption comp with the Wrecking Ball Diva come out. It's just better suited for Rialto here at not Adam. I'm sorry, I casted him yesterday, Ethan. You know, I mean, Cassie with you and Adam both on UGC. It's
old habits.
Old habits, Ethan. My apologies, but what I'll say, that composition that they were playing on the last round of Lijiang Tower is just better suited for Rialto. You have more space, and if you're playing the Fair, you have more buildings to actually hide behind. So you can use the environment and roll around and really disrupt like a bunker composition. However, I think the Frost is actually going to be playing the double shield composition on the defense with a Sigma Harissa, because that also is a great and strong defense here on Rialto, Ethan.
I think that for this particular map, you're absolutely right. We'll probably see several styles emerge from both of these teams. I think that we'll end up in a position where we're watching just a constant counter pick fest probably come out from both of these squads. I think that, like you mentioned, the disruption comp, it works a lot better on Rialto. You want to put TGI Sai on the pharmacy, you can do that. You want to run double flyer. There's lots of space in the skies. Double shield, because of the prevalence of high ground there on the second objective, the streets phase. I think that there's a lot of advantages that both of these teams will be able to utilize here coming into Rialto. We're jumping right into the map, and I'm very excited to see what looks we get from Defrost and from Termina. This is match point. Termina, if they lose this, they are out of the tournament for good. They had a fantastic run, and same can be said for Defrost, who is the higher seeded team. So they're looking to show us exactly why that is.
Yeah, I want to show us what it is. We're going to take a look here at these compositions. It's double sniper with the double bubble coming out on the attack, actually. Danger Noodle played the Ana. We all knew that was going to happen, or at least had a pretty good guess. But it's double snipers instead of a Pharah Mercy. Maybe we'll see a switch. There's still 20 seconds remaining here, Ethan. But on the defense, it's X-Bear and Keandre playing the Hanzo and the Widow. That is going to be hard to play. The Pharah, not sure if they'll actually stick with it. Maybe an Echo, or just stick with the double snipers as we get on their way. Termina on the attack here, and Defrost on the defense, trying to tie it up is Termina, and they're sticking here with the double sniper. It's a battle of the Widows and battle of the Hanzo. Who's going to find the headshot on each other? No shields except from the Winstons. That's all it's going to be it. Except Zarya with Fizz is going to apply a lot of pressure on Cart, and a lot of pressure with that bubble, ally bubble going on to Offset, allowed to take a lot of space and build up that ultimate. Offset dangerously low though, has to get out. You're going to get a lot of healing from Danger Noodle, and Keandre finds the first headshot onto the sniper of Fork, taking out the Widowmaker. Vince, though, a key elimination onto Wrecking Ball, and there's no mercy on the side of Defrost to resurrect them back in the fight. They'll have to jump back. Keandre finds a headshot to Fork, finds the second DPS and second headshot from the sniper battle all the way from the front line and the back line. It's a 6v6 fight now. Dragon Strike used by CGI Sai all over the card, except the nano boost from Wrecking Ball dangerously low has to get out with their lives because it was anti. And it's just a big, long fight here, Ethan. Nothing really going for either side.
No, it's the hard engagement style composition, and look at that. Hofstep gets the nano and immediately gets bonked back by Hatcher. And this is a key difference in these compositions, actually, as the picks come in favor of the defending Defrost. It's important to observe that the backline for Defrost is much less diveable, much less enticing to engage upon than the backlines here for Termina. Wrecking Ball coming clutch with those primal kills. You love to see it there if you've learned your tech from Gushway. There's still some ultimates in the bank, though, coming into this next fight for both sides. The big one here is going to be the self-destruct from ISOXO, and as well as the rally from Hatcher, hoping that they can get that procced up quickly enough. For now, the fight is going to start with the Dragon, so Hopes up ready to really engage with the primal. But they won't be able to.
What a sleep coming out from Megawatts. A nice flick sleep. This negates that whole primal rage. And like you were saying, you have a Brigitte of Hatcher just protecting Megawatt. Finally, Ford gets him. Gets Hatcher, just takes him out. That's really what the switch is coming out from Ford, just to apply more pressure along with Hofstep. X-Bear wins the 1v1, and Wrecking Ball with the nano boost trying to take out Psy, and it's looking for it. But the Graviton Surge from Viz solo and takes, well, it doesn't take out ISO because the Dragon Strike misses. Instead, ISO comes back and gets a kill onto Psy. 60 seconds remaining, and a big difference maker here in this composition is Viz on the Zarya, Ethan. It makes it so hard to apply pressure to that back line like you were saying.
Yeah, and as well as you look at the Zarya D.Va matchup, and you instinctively look at Zarya as a D.Va counter, but the fact is that I mean ISO is they get to pick the engagements because they have the mobility to do so, and without your main tank here, it's going to be really difficult to push. And the revive gets canceled. Oh, what a beautiful primal from Wrecking Ball.
A beautiful primal from Wrecking Ball indeed. Expert ISO picking up the kills. 20 seconds remaining. They don't have a lot of time here, and they can't afford for someone to fall just like Fizz does. Mimi switch over to the Brigitte. TGI side, switch over to the legs with Soldier 76. The Expert gets a late post-bomb elimination on Danger Noodle. It's going to be the rally procced by Hatcher, and it's overtime triggered. Hofstep gets taken out, eliminated. The Dragon Strike down the choke. There's no one that can make it. And that's going to do it, Ethan. They didn't not push it very far, and Defrost definitely in a winnable situation.
Yeah, they're in a really good spot to close out this series really really abruptly. The cart managed to make it a little bit further than it's actually stopped here right now. It kind of meandered its way backwards just a little bit. You know, the thing that I tell my teams in my solo queue ranked games, not just to raise morale, but because this is a very true principle in Overwatch. You know, since 2019, is that, you know, first hold on the first point. I'm sorry, first point full hold on any escort map is not a complicated endeavor. I know you've heard me say that many times now, Guthix. And so, you know, really considering how far the cart did actually, or considering how much space it actually did accomplish, I think that Termina is still in a position that that they can still clench out a win, but they've got to play really clean. That's really revealed to me through the double shield composition. That's a comp that you have to play correctly. There's really not another alternative. But you're still opting for that double sniper pick, and you've got a sturdy backline with Danger Noodle and Mimi on the Brig Baptiste combo. Nothing dies at all ever. So that's a really good start here, really good adaptations coming from Termina. It might have come a little too late, though. It's going to be Ball and Hog Torture on the side of Defrost, and who knows what accomplishments this will bring.
We'll have to see if the Wrecking Ball playing the Wrecking Ball now, Ethan. Finally, don't have to clarify that. Have to see if they can get some disruptions. Mimi on the back line, able to catch out Wrecking Ball swinging around. Now here comes the long rotation, and we're going to see a big push from this double take line, but CGI side gets the headshot onto Megawatts, and both the supports are gone, so that card is stopped in their tracks. We're going to have to wait for the healers to bring it back, and so far, a really good defense coming out from the side of Termina.
Wrecking Ball isn't generating ultimate as fast as they would like, and there was an effort to equalize for the man disadvantage there from Keandre, but they never really stood a chance against this fortified high ground position that Termina is playing. A minute in the time bank, and we have to see adjustments come in from Defrost. That's exactly what we will see. They're going for the traditional dive tanks here, with Wrecking Ball opting for the Winston again. I think that you could have made the Wrecking Ball work, the hero, not the player, if you put ISO on the D.Va. But I do like this composition switch. I think it's a little bit safer for them. Still going to be tough to contend against those snipers. Expert and Keandre, they have their work cut out for them.
We're going to have the spam coming in from Keandre and Expert, bringing that damage boost from Hatcher onto either of those DPS. It's going to delete the shields from Hofstep and Vince. So you have to be really sparing and have to use the environment to block any damage. Fork finds kill on X-Bear, might be looking for the resurrection. Amplification Matrix is used and just, well, they're just weighing this one now, but here comes Hofstep stepping up here, trying to take the fight to them. Wrecking Ball dangerously low, gets shield badged and deleted by Mimi. Now without the Winston, it's so hard to engage in these fights, Ethan.
There's really not another alternative here for Defrost than to mirror the double shield composition, I think. Although that's a beautiful, marvelous pick coming in from Keandre onto TGI side, and there's no revive to bring them back, so with a man advantage, you're going to force ultimates at the very least out of Terminate.
Yeah, Bob is going to take the role of TGI side, make it a 6v6 fight. Nano boost from Wrecking Ball is going to be big. X-Bear takes out Hopstep. Going to use the Flux, takes out ISO Exo. That's all that's caught. Dragon Strike from Spawn. Able to not get anything, but Viz coming up, gets the double kill. Wrecking Ball in the backline, taking out Mimi, looking for more. It's not going to be needed. There it is. TGI side gets taken out by Wrecking Ball, and X-Bear's Bob does something as they shouted out, and they are crossing the finish line right
Maybe with a touch?
there.
Oh, no!
Nope,
And
it
so-
was close.
Oh, man.
It was close, but it just wasn't enough. And Defrost walked away with this quick 2-0 victory with Wrecking Ball with play of the game right here. Ethan, let's take a look. It's the Winston and it's the Angry Monkey. Gave that environmental kill, it looks like, and then just goes smacking and gets the Winston there. Wow, very nice play from Wrecking Ball playing the Winston.
I did think that it was pretty funny earlier when I said, "Oh yeah, Wrecking Ball with the Primal Rage." I kind of chuckled at myself in my head, thinking, "That's not Wrecking Ball, that's Winston." In either case, so ends the Community for Better ABK tournament run for Terminus. They are terminated out of the lower bracket, but they had a really good showing, and what a cool experience as well to be able to have 3 games that were broadcasted for them. I know that their players are probably going to be rewatching some of this and really enjoying the show, hopefully as much as I did watching Terminus. For Defrost, this is a great win coming off of a loss. Nice to boost morale and continue playing in the lower bracket. Although again, incurring another defeat for Defrost now means that they will be out as well. Their next matchup is going to be against Period T, who managed to win against Natter's Platters. Unfortunately, that was one of the teams that I was rooting for. So they are out of the tournament. So between Period T, I think Defrost is a really great matchup, and I'm honestly not sure if that one is being broadcasted, but you guys will have to find out. Be sure to use the ! Discord command so you guys can join the community, get connected to fellow Overwatch players, those of us that few that still remain, and also that way you can get notified of all the different streams that have been hosting this tournament. You guys can know when those go live.
Yeah, and Period T, that's going to be actually a pretty good matchup, Ethan,
Yeah.
because yesterday Period T played against Terminate in the winners bracket, and they actually beat Terminate 2-0, just like Defrost did tonight. So I'm expecting that one going to be close. Since I was cheering for Terminate now because Cookies for Plats was gone, I have a new team, and you know what? I'm just going to be shifting over and picking Defrost because I'm gonna be cheering for Defrost here in the losers bracket, because anyone Ethan can cheer for, like, the number one and pushing in the winners bracket. But I like it to cheer for the losers bracket and some people there, and really just try to give them motivation and give them that support. So Defrost, make me proud, please. Please.
I'm sure that they will. It's going to be it's picking up our MVP accolation as well for this series. It's going to be Keandre. Really good stuff from them on the DPS role. Opening up that last fight there on Rialto while I'm weaving a tale of doom, saying that if you don't run the double shield, then you might lose. And then there's Key coming in with some really clutch picks. So congratulations to them as well for being the MVP of this series.
Yeah, great stuff coming out from them. I mean, really, just outstanding play from Defrost, though. Their whole team, Ethan, it seems like they're playing really good together, and they were able to win those rock, paper, scissors matchups, and they were able to switch it up. We saw how deep their hero compositions really go, and that's going to be a big difference maker moving on in the rest of this lower bracket.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, though, Gothics, That's all the Overwatch we've got for you guys here on Star Esports for the evening. Be sure to again join the community so you guys can catch in or tune in to those other streams that are going on. I think there's still a couple more games that we're probably watching tonight. But at least for you and me, Gothics, it looks like we might be done.
Yes, if you want to catch over at the main channel, which is what's going to be streamed tomorrow, make sure you do !ABK Discord, and then you will get that Discord invitation, Ethan, and then you can join that Discord server, and you'll see the link and keep up with all the notifications there, so you can see when we go live. We still are at $833 raised. Thank you everyone so much for making those donations, and all teams participate, so donate to that as well. But yeah, Ethan, that's gonna wrap it up for us here in the Cassie booth for Star Esports streaming for the tournament of ABK. My name is Guthix. I've been, I've been play. You know, I'm stumbling over my words. It's late, Ethan. Let me try again.
It's been a long weekend of Overwatch.
It has been. It has been very draining. I've been Guthix. You can follow me at my Twitter at Guthix Esports to keep up with all my casting gigs here at Star Esports, and also at other leagues that I do casting with. And I've been here in the casting booth with my friend Ethan.
Yeah, I am Lord Ethan. You guys can find me over on Twitter as well. I talk a lot about Overwatch. That's also where I drop information about where you guys can find me, and occasionally there's a hot take regarding Zenyatta and how he needs to be continually nerfed. Odd to say that as a Zenyatta main. Anyways, thank you guys all for tuning in, for donating, for contributing, whether it's your time as a producer, as a viewer, or it's your money contributing towards better industry standards. Thank you guys all for standing in solidarity with ABK Workers Alliance here with us tonight. You guys have a spectacular rest of the evening.